So we're gonna let Mark go first because he's been playing one of the more hype games of the season, depending who
my
you're
brothers,
asking.
my brothers. It is time for me to open up the chapter, the Astartes.
My brothers, we are here. Commence this gospel. The scripture.
Yes. We need to.
From the Emperor himself.
We need to purge all Xenos. We need to get rid of any kind of heresy, and
Why
we need to kick fucking Chaos's ass.
Why does every game Mark plays always have him like we need to purge X race of character? I'm just like,
praise be the Emperor.
Oh my god.
First of all, not every game is like that.
The ticks. What now? The whatever these things are called.
The Xenos.
And then another game you were trying to purge some other thing. There's always some type of in-game slur Mark comes out of every time.
All right, yeah, no. Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. My dude, this game. First off, that's a mouthful. This game is very fun. It is very fun. I give this game first off a solid 8.5. This is it feels like a video game. This is like a video game. This, in a weird way, is a return to form in gaming, where it's just like, hey, I'm actually playing a game. Not to discredit any other like game that tells stories or does like something bombastic or dynamic. No, like I know that we're all tired of like seeing just like everything just having to be so expansive and whatnot, and it's feeling less and less like a game and more of like just straight up interactive media, which is no discredit to that. It's cool. This is a fucking video game. You can play it online, offline, with friends, by yourself, with some randoms, and you will have a great fucking time. There's no competitive mode.
I'm guessing you're just saying that even though this game does look like it has its own like deep narrative in its own, but it's like it's a lot more like ham-fisted. It's kind of like campy in its own way. Like it's not meant to be taken ultra seriously.
Unless you are a die-hard lore nerd for Warhammer, yeah. But even then, from what I know lore-wise, which isn't saying a lot, first off, because I know 40K fans take their lore seriously.
Yes.
It's a great game all together. Controls are tight. It's snappy. It's got its blood and gore. It's got a wide array of weapons. The campaign is fun, short, sweet, to the point. You could probably complete the campaign within the day or two. One thing I would recommend, because this is something that I know that I do and I know that Brendon does.
Oh yeah, you got your ass clapped. I remember this.
Do not put it on hard mode unless you are ready to actually fight for your fucking life. All those TikToks where you hear I'm still standing. Yeah, that is what you're going to be feeling if you're on the campaign. Start off on normal.
Basically, what fucking Mark is saying is just,
brother, I am pinned here,
and he just fucking dies.
Dude, no, like this game is fun. It is hard for me to put down because like even in the PvP, and or even like when I'm encountering like super sweaty people,
the PvP looks fun, man.
I don't feel tilted. I don't feel irritated. I don't get like, oh, blah blah blah, this dude's sweaty, or oh my god, this person's being an asshole because I'm not sweaty enough, or I'm at the bottom of the leaderboard. I'm having fun. Kind of like how like some of the earlier days of like Call of Duty, were back in high school, you didn't care if you were at the top of the leaderboard or not. It feels fun.
Would you compare like the multiplayer?
I have a question.
Yeah.
How's the gameplay, like for multiplayer wise? How's the gameplay feel? Because like, I mentioned on your stream how this game, and how you also mentioned as well too to your chat, that Gears of War was heavily inspired by this game.
I was thinking Gears of War, yeah.
Like, does it feel like Gears of War style chunky ass motherfucker in a suit, or
yes and no?
Does it feel like more Halo, like actual like Space Marine type shit?
Okay, so it feels more Gears of War because you do feel a little heavy, but there are classes where you're just like snap movement and you're just like, okay, I gotta move, I gotta jet. And if you once you get a feel for the game, you know how to make even like your slow moving character kind of fucking fast in one way or another. It's all about, because in the multiplayer it's just like, okay, how am I going to engage in this fight? Because I can either just go head first with the heavy class and just throw up the shield and keep going and keep spraying and praying. I might take somebody with me. I might get my ass clapped. Whatever. Multiplayer feels good. It's so far it's just 3 modes. I know that they're going to probably add more modes and add more classes, because the classes that you see in PvP are also the classes you get to play in the PvE. And what's really, really cool, whatever class or weapons you're using in either mode levels them up in either form.
That's
now,
good.
Now here's the even cooler thing.
There's more?
In the PvP, the weapons you have for your class are the weapons you got. There's no upgrading it and whatnot. So whatever class you're playing, you're using pure skill.
There's no way to like pick up weapons on like the ground or anything
Nope.
like that.
You can pick up ammo.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's locked. It's specific class lock.
Yeah. And you could just go in and then just do your skirmishes and whatnot. And if you end up in a situation where like y'all are getting spawn killed, guess what? The spawn's gonna flip now. It doesn't stay that way for long. And I've even had matches where like I'm getting my ass kicked with like with a couple of friends, and then the spawns flip, and then we start coming back. Like, granted, we're not gonna win. We're not gonna win, probably.
You get a fighting chance. You get more of a fighting chance. That's good, because like, and it's the simplified, arcadey version of games like this that I enjoy. Yeah, sure, like once in a while, like if there's a Call of Duty like game that'll scratch an itch, yeah, sure, fine. Let's appease those reptilian brain cells. But when it comes to like the current Call of Duty, especially Mark, I don't know if you've played the beta for Black Ops 6. It's not comparing, and it's just a very small complaint. Like, Black Ops 6 is not in the news at all. TLDR, Black Ops 6 introduces omni movement, so you can you have like 8-way diving, damn near 8-way sprinting and shit, and like it just makes the game more sweaty than it already is. So seeing something simple like Space Marine, and then I prefer combat like Space Marine, Halo, Gears of War, Quake, like that shit is gas. That shit will always be fun to me. It's just straight up, yeah, sure, movement is important, but skill with your weapon and mastery of your weapons, like damage ranges and projectile fall off and all the other weird nerdy stats, like mastering that, I prefer that to being like, okay, here's like 10 gajillion weapons, good luck.
Right. So, and here's the cooler thing: each class does come with like varying weapons as well. As you get better with the class, you unlock more weapons. My favorite thing is that just about all but one of them so far have different melee weapon options too. Mm-hmm. Like, so far, all the melee weapons I have seen is a knife. That shit's not a knife. A chain sword.
Remember, Mark, these motherfuckers are like 10 feet tall.
Let me finish. You got a knife. You got a sword. So you got a power sword. You have a chain sword, you have a hammer, and then you have the power fist. Brendan, you're gonna love the fucking power fist.
Ah, yes, I love the bunga. Give me fucking fist.
So real quick, I'll just break down the 6 classes, because it's just real fucking simple. Because you have your assault class, you have your. Hold on, I could actually just pull this shit up right now. You have your tactical, assault, vanguard, bulwark, sniper, heavy. Tactical, your Call of Duty man, you get your ability is you get to scan an area, and whatever enemies are in that area where your reticle is aiming at, they get revealed and they have a weakness.
Okay, so live ping, got it.
Yeah. They have that. And then the next one, sniper. Sniper automatically gets a cloak. Like, you get a cloak now, and here's the crazy thing: you are not limited to just sniper weapons. Your assault class, you get a jetpack. You get a sidearm and a jetpack, and man, when you can
Mark ass class.
David, remember how I dunked on those people yesterday?
Oh yeah.
You could do that with a hammer or a sword or some shit.
After just trailer.
Like, you could just dunk on people. Vanguard, you get a grappling hook. Pretty short, sweet. Bulwark is your quote unquote support class, but I treat that bitch like a tank class because you just throw down your you throw down a standard, and that recharges your shield. And you could just keep fighting near it. And then, of course, you also get like a big tower shield where you could just block melee attacks and whatnot. And the bread and butter in this game is actually melee combat because of some of the hordes that you are dealing with. And it's not just like Tyranids, but also Chaos Marines too. So you're dealing with a bunch of enemies.
Those chuckle fucks. Did not like fighting them in the first game.
Oh, don't worry. You get to execute them a lot more now.
Good. Because I do not like fighting those chuckle fucks.
And then the heavy, Brendon's class, big unga bunga chunka gun. Just boom. And you get a deployable shield while you're moving that blocks all ranged attacks. Anything downrange is getting fucking annihilated. So yeah, Space Marine.
I get paid tomorrow. I could probably buy this shit tomorrow.
I will gladly play as many matches with you, be it PvP, PvE, or even a campaign. All of it has multiplayer, or if you just want to play offline and the servers are acting up, still can. This isn't one of those games where it's just like locked to like, oh, I can't play this.
I can't play this. Bringing it back to like the, I'm thinking like the 360 era of just like fun.
So funny you mentioned that, David, is that there was an article I came across, I want to say last week, where it was like, someone said, Warhammer Space Marine 2, 40k Space Marine 2, is the most Xbox 360 ass game in a good way. I'm like, like, fucking, because Space Marine 1 was obviously a 360 game, so who the fuck
hop in the Xbox Live Party chat ass game?
Listen, man, like, once I'm gonna just jump in and be like, all right, Mark, you ready to play? All right, say when.
Brother!
Just go.
So there is a lot. Last positive thing before I start touching on the negative, customization of your Marine is so good. It is so good. There are so many options, and if you're a lore nerd, you can even just go ahead and paint your Marine down to the exact chapter or faction that you want to.
That makes sense for a game like this. Like,
it's so cool though.
It's like this and Gundam Breaker, right? Are games where like, hey, look, the super freaks, the fucking weirdos that love this shit even more than like the most. This is their lifeblood. They go in financial ruin to buy kits and buy paints to do this shit. No, this is also a game for them. I also appreciate it because like I said, I mentioned Gundam Breaker as one of them. Another game that did this pretty good was Godzilla on the PS3. This is why I say this specifically, because you can set up your own kaiju dioramas with like the fucking in-game models and like basically replicate scenes from your favorite Godzilla era movies, depending on which ones that they had available. So it's stuff like that where like the developers definitely saw the 40k fan base and was like, yeah, let's get them this. Let's do this for them because this is just another thing. It's just like one of those nice extra things where, yeah, it's not game breaking, but it's like, hey, look, this is truly for me because I can do this with my Space Marine. I can do this, and I feel like it is completely calling to my niche specifically.
there's so much that you can do with like customize. Like there's so much I could talk about with this game, but I know we're on a time schedule, and I know I could just sit down and talk to you guys later more in depth. A couple things I do want to touch on. I do not like that I cannot set up private lobbies. Yeah. I do not like I cannot set that up yet, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be added in later. There was some clear server issue crashes, but they already patched that they patched a lot of that as of earlier today, last night. Another thing worth mentioning is that they said however this game gets supported based off of how the fans treat it, based off of how it is, because like how Helldivers constantly kept getting support and whatnot. Yep. And that's how they were constantly able to get shit. It's going to affect what extra classes get thrown in here and what more lore we get and what more like game modes and whatnot. And knowing Warhammer fans and knowing how we are, how gamers are and how nerds are with this stuff, I cannot wait to see what they bring in. Like I hope to see a chaplain. I hope to see a librarian. Hell, I hope to see a fucking tech marine or even a marine in Terminator armor.
I would love to see a battle sister. That'd be fucking cool as shit.
I don't think we will get that, unfortunately.
We won't. We will not. However, I think it'd be cool.
Listen, we all want a sister of battle. But hey, they're only for the Emperor.